basically, in the 1790s, we needed money to pay off the debt because we borrowed a lot of money from the French kids to help us beat the British.
Yeah.
So we're going to make things here, and like true fashion. See, a lot of people think the Civil War just came out of nowhere, and a lot of people blame it on slavery, and that is a huge part of it because in the 1790s, with Alexander Hamilton, when he said tariffs and he's going to increase the prices of exports coming from British and all these other countries because he wanted the United States or the 13 colonies at the time to make their own products, it really favored the North and not the South because the South said, yeah, but you know what, guy? The South said this. They said, you know what, guy? We need cotton and other things because we got to have these slaves doing their work.
Yeah.
So you guys up in the North, you don't really need the things that we need.
Yeah.
And Alexander Hamilton said, shut up.
Yeah. It's just very interesting to be wearing these things because on the size of your head, that just looks like a normal hat.
It just looks like
and for me, it's just probably just engulfing my head.
Because I just look like a rice ball on a plate right now. And here's the thing is the reason why we have these hats on is just in case we do lose the trade war, because we will eventually tell you, we will get to the part where we tell you that this is actually just a tariff on China. This is just a war with China. Other countries are involved, but really it's not about that. It's about China. So just in case we do lose the trade war, I just want there to be evidence in Shanghai right now. I want Xi Jinping to just see me and Yanni with these hats on and know that we're communist cuties.
I am ready to be a farm worker in the agrarian land of China. And Chris did get these hats on Amazon right before they cost $340.
Yes.
And unfortunately, the string already broke, and we didn't even tug on it or anything. But that's essentially a good metaphor, an example of what's been going on since China joined the WTO.
Yes.
Is that they've just been making cheap shit, and we've just been buying their shit.
That's what it is, the World Trade Organization, which we'll get to in a moment. But here's the thing, cuz, is all... back in the day when Hamilton had these tariffs, it was just about America being number one. And the problem is no matter how much you want to slice it, we are all in this together as human beings. And even though I love this country and I am red, white, and blue to the day I die, when you start to get a little, it's called protectionism, when you just want to protect your own country's like rights and all that, and manufacturing stuff, the other countries get cut out and everybody begins to lose.
Yeah.
And this is what started to happen. So Alexander Hamilton started to lose and they taxed the foreign goods, especially the manufactured ones. And Hamilton wanted to make these American-made products even better. But then everything just started to go down and people started to get mad and it led to the War of 1812.
Did this have anything to do with the reason that Bill Burr shot him?
Yeah, Bill Burr did shoot him, and Bill Burr was sitting in these seats right before you got here. Bill Burr was in the podcast.
The murderer of Alexander Hamilton?
Yeah, what a bad. So here's the thing is, like I said, the South really opposed. This is Alexander Hamilton right here. Yes, he's the Dominican man. The South really opposed these tariffs because they relied on imported goods and exported raw materials like cotton and tobacco because that's what their slaves were there for. That's what they were working with. So they saw the tariffs as benefiting the North and not the South. So that was a problem. So here's the thing is I wrote a little charty thing. I just wanted to read from this for a second.
A charty thing?
A charty thing.
Yeah. I love charty things.
Yeah, a little charty thing. So
you get a star.
I want
just like my daughter. I'm giving you a star for writing a charty thing.
So here's the differences because people say, oh, Alexander Hamilton did tariffs. So he's on the $10 bill. He's a Dominican kid. I saw his play.
And my brother's on the $3 bill.
And your brother's on the $3 bill. Exactly. So that maybe tariffs aren't so bad, but here's the differences. So the purpose of Alexander Hamilton's tariffs were to generate revenue, because like I said, they had no federal income tax, and protect new industries. The modern era, we're using tariffs right now really for trade leverage and national security. A big thing that the people are not talking about in the economy, what Donnie T said, why he's instituted these tariffs, because he believes it's a national security issue because a lot of fentanyl is getting into the Canadian-Mexican border. Now, is that a cover? Probably.
Yeah.
But he's still saying it.
Yeah.
But here's the other reason. So also rates. Hamilton, by today's standards, his rates were pretty high, 5 to 15% with higher rates on luxury goods. Right now, the tariffs typically 1.5 to 5%, but they can spike, like with the China tariffs. Because here's the other thing to not forget, baby gorgeous, is Trump in his first term went to a trade war with China and instituted many tariffs on China. And then what did they respond with?
2018, he started a trade war with China, and 2019, they exported something that we could not tariff.
Yeah, maybe we're going to have to edit that part out. because we are trying not to be demonetized. But make no mistake, in Shanghai, we started putting tariffs on them, and they started releasing the bats. Okay. So it's just what it is. It's one of those coinky things.
It's a coinky thing that makes you go,
So you kind of wonder, what are they going to do now?
Yeah, what's coming
But that's
now?
why we have these hats on. We are protected.
Yeah, who knows what's coming now, but it doesn't matter because everyone's focused on Israel.
Yes. So in Hamilton's era, they focused on the tariffs was manufactured imports from Britain. That was kind of still the enemy. Today, it's electronics, auto, steel, agriculture, goods, everything China makes.
Yeah.
And then the dependence on the tariffs. So tariffs were the
Hold on a second. I just got a message on my phone.
Yeah.
It says, stop talking about China, you two nincompoops.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, they make these phones.
Sorry.
Yeah, they make everything.
Dependence on tariffs. So tariffs were the main source of federal income in Hamilton's day, like I said. And today, it's really for income. Our main source of income are income tax and payroll tax. So
I thought it was OnlyFans feet pics.
That's what I was going to say. A lot of it is OnlyFans feet pics. And of course, patreon.com/historyhyenas is what's supporting the U.S. economy at the moment.
That's what it is. I thought we were a podcast economy, and Andrew Schultz has us all believing we can do it too.
We can do it.